we know that New England hasn't faced the best schedule this year, but again, you can only play the teams that are put in front of you. They've got a great point differential, however. They do rank a top 5 in pass rate over expected this year. They saw 3 more attempts per game in games where they were underdogs. So they're 4.5-point underdogs in this one. Seattle does have the best EPA per rush in the NFL. They're basically the best at stopping the run. Top 10 in rushing yards, top in rushing yards over expected allowed. 5 teams finished with a positive rushing yards over expected. They've got the 8th best pass defense by EPA per dropback allowed. So a lot of this is meaning, Seattle's got a good defense. We know that already. So Drake May is probably going to drop back at a higher rate due to just the schematics and the game flow, right? 4.5-point underdog there, game script. More dropbacks, more scrambles for May. So I do think that his scrambling rate is going to be a little higher. Seattle generates pressure at the 4th highest rate in the league, despite blitzing the 4th lowest rate. Should see a lot of rushing yards, but he should also take a lot of sacks. They're going to try to throw a lot underneath, get the ball out quickly. May's a great deep ball passer, but he's not going to have as much time for deep plays this year. That's why I do love your Hunter Henry bet this week. I think it's going to really pop off because of the pressure rate. Seattle was top 5 in too high safety rate. That leaves a lot. That's a big gap there in the middle of the field there. They do throw to wide receivers at the 2nd lowest rate in the NFL also when teams face Seattle. So, again, Hunter Henry there. The blah, blah, blah. A lot of this is just talking about some of the metrics as it relates to the defense allowed. I do think Diggs is going to see a lot of action from the slot. Should move him around, a high target share. Running backs are going to get a lot of looks out of the backfield. Hunter Henry all over the middle of the field. So for New England, Seattle, very good at stopping the run. New England, top 5 team in pass rate over expected. Given the spread in the game script, I expect a pass-heavy approach with more underneath throws, lower ADOT throws, out of the backfield, tight end production. Expect May to scramble a lot and get pressured and sacked a lot. So that's just, if you're betting New England, this is information to be aware of. That's not my take. I got another whole thing on Seattle and their offense.
Give me your the other side of the coin there.
Okay, so Seattle, if you're looking at the offense for Seattle, they've been very run-heavy this year. Obviously, Mike, from a pass rate over expected, they're 3rd lowest behind Baltimore and the Jets love establishing the run. But they are bottom 10 in success rate and EPA per rush, so they're not really that efficient running the ball. I found that to be interesting. Patriots allowed nearly twice as many rushing yards per game while Milton Williams was out with injury. So this is very notable. It was out from weeks 11 through 17, came back for the playoffs, and they allowed half as many rushing yards while he's back in the lineup. He also allows the Patriots not have to stack the box as much. Kenneth Walker has been a bottom 10 in rushing yards over expected against both neutral and light box formations. And I talked about that previously, like when you've got stacked boxes, why that opens things up for a running back like Kenneth Walker. New England should not have to stack the box against Seattle to stop their rushing attack. I think this game's going to come down to Sam Darnold. And I know a lot of people say that. He hasn't turned back into a pumpkin, but Seattle was 8th best in EPA per dropback this year, while New England was 9th best and allowed on defense. So it's strength versus strength there. Seattle was 1st in percentage of yards created through play action plays this year. New England was average in defending play action, but they're 1st in QB pressure rate when facing play action passes. I'm talking about the blitz rate already. They're going to blitz a lot. Shouldn't allow New England to get to Sam Darnold. That can create some sacks and turnovers. May follow. That's generally how it goes. Seattle's been a bottom 10 EPA per dropback when pressured. If they can get to Darnold, I think Seattle's passing attack can take advantage of over the top with some big plays. So that means bringing more guys, leaving things up over the top for Darnold, for Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's going to get his, even with Christian Gonzalez in coverage. Team wide receiver ones have been fine against New England, and JSN is always Darnold's first read. A.J. Barner should have a sneaky good game too, as New England is 6th in adjusted target share allowed to tight ends. So New England has an advantage stopping the Seattle rushing attack, but Seattle can counter with volume on the ground and leveraging play action, which I mentioned is Kubiak's staple. Look for New England to blitz early and often, making a higher variance passing attack for Seattle. They're going to want to try to rattle Sam Darnold. They're going to force him to play well to win this game. It's going to come down to Sam Darnold not seeing ghosts and doing what he's been doing all year. He's going to need to be able to read the blitz, escape pressure, and throw on the run and get passes out early. So I mentioned Rashid Shaheed for his touchdown. That New England blitzing a lot leaves softer coverage downfield, and you get the benefit of a potential return touchdown. That's why I kind of like him for a first touchdown play there. But there you go. That's Seattle for you.
Much. Anyway, Story, 3 bets this week for the Super Bowl. We are 95-56, by the way, on the season. 204-123 all-time even odds bets. We're making money. If you're interested in supporting the channel, professionalfanatics.com. The link for that is in the description. Ken Walker over 99.5 total yards. Last week we played Ken Walker under 115 total yards. That hit. He had 113, I believe it was. So 100 plus yards, total yards, minus 110. Hunter Henry over 37.5 receiving yards. And then the one that Story is going to probably grill me for is both quarterbacks 15 plus passing yards in each quarter. So Darnold and May to both have 15 plus passing yards in each quarter. That is plus 120. That's a FanDuel special. That is currently plus 100. So you can still get it at even.
Because it's like, it sounds like it should hit, right? But all those big game specials sound like they're pretty easy to hit. I don't like it when they put it right on the homepage.
You got to pick the spots.
Hunter Henry one, I love that one. I love that, absolutely. And I hate Walker over 99.5 total yards. Hate it.
Really?
Yeah, the Patriots are really good at limiting the run.
That's right, but I feel like he had 50 yards receiving last game, so that could happen as well.